Right, so something.
So,
So the ident itself, I just took a basic template and changed some things around, made the middle of that. The sound I used on there is actually, you know, on my music video, I have the sort of like really flash things in the background, like moving from left to right, like in the background, like looks like fire. That was the original music for that, and it just sounded nice. So I put them in like a very basic ident.
Yeah.
If we had more time, or if we had an actual budget for it,
we would have probably gotten an original.
yeah, I would have done this from scratch, but since we did not have much time to do any of it,
and we didn't actually have the skill to make something.
Yeah, we didn't have time. We didn't have time to learn how to use After Effects. So I just had really basic videos on how to use it. Asked people like Liam how to use it.
Yeah, so we made something that was simple but still looked good. That was the goal.
Because we know how bad it's like. You remember with like Liam's group and everyone in their video, how like how technical like his whole video was and how long it took them to edit it.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually getting to the point where the deadline was closing up and they hadn't even, much less the vlog, they didn't get the actual video done.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to be caught in that since we were doing 2 at once.
Yeah.
So it was all going to be quick and simple, but I think it went fine.
But it looked a lot better. It was an improvement from our last one.
Oh, last year was just a quick thing. I used a shape and a transition on Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, because After Effects is more advanced than Final Cut Pro. So even though it was basic, it still looked far better than what we did the last year.
And then you did some research, when we were doing about Final Cut Pro, you were looking to research on soundtrack you found in Compitex, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We also shared it with others, didn't we?
We looked
didn't
at,
actually use the music as well.
We looked at royalty-free music that we could just go through, and then when we found it, the only thing they wanted us to do was to say their name in the comment.
Because you couldn't trust tones.
And let's make sure that the settings when we uploaded it were so we wouldn't make any money off it, because that money wouldn't be ours, because it's not our music.
Yeah, right. We couldn't trust Tony to do free music for itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, play on. Let's look at the rest of it.
Okay.
Do you think we've done it? Yeah, at this point we kept it at the same speed for most of the rough cuts. But then you all said, as Aiden they said, speed it up. Speed it up, make it much quicker.
Yeah. And
put the text and everything.
People like quicker paced movies.
Yeah. I also found those.
The last thing you want to do is bore your viewer. That's the last thing, because at that point they could easily turn off and walk away, which isn't what you want to do. You want to make a lasting impression.
Yeah.
Keeping them involved means fast paced clips and trying to make them all link and flow together, which is what we tried to do here.
Yeah.
With lots of nice looking camera shots and camera angles that allowed us to fully utilise the effect that we were trying to give as the words would appear as the light was shined on, which we thought worked very well in creating this unique effect that we were trying to do.
We also used custom text as well. We just thought the text and then just a bit basic, so we just went, I don't know where I got it from or anything, but I do remember the template where I got the for the ident and the music that a lot of it we used on here is got it from a place called Motion Array. You can sign up. There's lots of free stuff on there, but you can also pay for some stuff, which is quite good on its own. So go visit that if you wish to for free content.
You may also notice in the video that the colour's really dark that we're using.
Yeah.
And this helps to convey that our is a horror, and that is
like
further enhanced by the soundtrack that's played behind it,
like
giving it a very eerie tone.
Yeah.
That is what we're trying to do.
We were definitely planning on using the black and white through some of it, but in the end we thought that the colour would enhance it.
And you may notice the face of the schoolboy on the wall as the light shines over.
Yeah, that's
this also helps give the idea that it is a thriller too, because we want the audience to know the kind of movie they're watching before they start watching
This changed with different thriller. We did basic of horror at the start of our recordings, but then we sort of moved into thriller, because maybe that can actually relate to the same sort of audience. Like audience who tend to like horror tend to like thriller as well. So this has got that same sort of like fast-paced, heart-rating audience.
But for what we were trying to achieve, it made sense for it to be a cross between the two.
Yeah, and also last year we tried to make it only one, and it didn't go well.
It didn't turn out the way we were hoping.
Yeah,
and the overall horror effect just wasn't there.
Last year suited as like a short film.
Yeah.
Better than it did every sequence. So yeah, let's go on to title sequence. Well, the title sequence is a lot quicker than we did last year.
That's far quicker. Now there you saw that I was walking up the stairs, but my face was in the whole way. This is the first time you see me as a character, but you will never see my face in this sequence.
The most
we're trying to keep the idea of enigma. You don't know who I am.
The most we see of any shot is mine is in the lip when we see your mouth, but we don't really associate identity with a mouth.
No.
So
all you know is that I'm in a suit.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. So you could make some
We'll see
take some ideas from that about my position in the movie.
And although that would give off the idea that it's an antagonist like we did last year,
Yeah.
but since you are sort of in a proper suit all out with a bag of thing, not appearing very threatening, you just look very proper and smart, since you don't look like last year when we had the villain was like with a mask and like a hoodie and a a towel and a cane, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that makes sure we make sure that although you were presented as a very confusing character on who he is, we didn't want you to be presented as evil as the antagonist in the whole film. So we did that as well. By the suit. That scene there where I'm going towards the camera, that was the one where you walked over the camera originally.
Yeah.
But I had gone to it quickly, so I decided to reverse it as I was putting the camera down and walking up. I went down to look like it could be something sapping. Like this is the opinion, the first person perspective of someone.
Since you were the one who edited this part of the video, I was wondering you would like to explain why you added the effect of multiple of myself.
Yeah. Because the one thing common that we have in both the title and the opening sequence is that it builds up suspense.
Yeah.
Because as you can hear, the music's converted and it goes, and it does that happen. It sort of has this wave effect of just like flashback memories of all that.
Yeah.
Of like things happening. Everything's happening at the screen at once. That's the build up to the climax, and then it goes down, then it will go dark.
Yeah.
And the same will, if we listen to the music in the opening sequence, we can hear something similar.
Yeah.
The build up of suspense, because that's key for a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And why I chose to do it, it just looked quite good actually.
Now, me reaching for the camera is how we ended it, as this we thought served as a good transition into the main part of the opening sequence.
It may not seem perfect, but to be honest, when we started, we thought this was going to be the title sequence itself.
Yeah, we thought it'd be the title.
The whole thing would be.
And we thought that
would
be how it ended. But as we got more and more clips, we found out these shots could be used.
Yeah, we made a rough cut, and they said that doesn't need to be. That could be the opening sequence.
We took advice from our peers there.
Yeah.
And because they're a lot more used to this than us, they know a lot more than we do. So we took what they said on board with us, and they thought that a lot of the clips we were going to use for our opening sequence would have been essential for our title sequence.
Yeah.
As well as shortening the overall opening sequence, which may have been far too long, far too boring, and that is the opposite of what we're trying to do. And this, in turn, helped create something that we never could have thought of at the beginning.
I think that's the advantage of doing ours last year, because there's lots of things we want to do better, and there's a lot of things like we don't want to make things really boring or confusing. That's the key part.
Yeah.
Right. Then we're getting to the actual opening sequence. See, 30 seconds in. We recorded that from the car coming at different speeds with dip LED headlights on, with full beam headlights on, from the camera we're using now and our phones, just to get the best sort of thing what it looked like.
And you may notice that the music switches off
at
the beginning, because the music's about to change. And starts off with a loud noise as the opening sequence starts. This helps switch the user into the viewer into thinking this is something else, this isn't the same thing, which again, we don't want to make the opening sequence seem like just an elongated title sequence.
Yes.
That's not what we want.
And you can tell that although that the actual bang and the noise and everything like that, the whole thing's going to be quite quick paced. So although it's bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Still keeping up the fast pace that we've been trying to do in the title sequence. As that is very important to something like a horror movie.
Yeah.
The suspense builds up, the pace builds up until it reaches the climax where everything slows back down. And that's what we're building to at the moment.
Yeah. Then you have that. That was on the camera itself, that wasn't edit. And then you start the music and it goes, and as the lights turn off, it turns into from black and white into colour. Just the music goes. And this is the beginning, the build up from tension. And if we listen to go along, the music gets slightly more intense until we get to the slam door.
Yeah.
This part of it was hard because I was stuck between having loads of scenes of you walking outside and those things you walking in. Like, remember when we had a scene of you actually coming in, turning off the torch, walking up to the desk and putting the torch on.
That was going to be too much.
Yeah, so
that wouldn't have been fun.
We needed to cut it down either way, so we went with this in the end.
Yeah.
The TV effect, despite having it a bit cheesy, the peer said it was fine, said that it really worked, so we kept it in the end. And now we come to the famous lift scene.
This was a lot more fast-paced than our previous rough cuts would have been.
Oh,
everything, like even the shots of us closing the door, me walking up to it, we filmed a lot of shots while we were at the location, and we tried to involve as much of it as possible, which kind of worked out negatively because there was just too much going on, and that made the audience sometimes hard to keep up, or they thought we were overdoing it.
Yeah.
Or it just made it overall too long, which is again what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah. To be honest, there was only a few locations in the actual place that I had in mind for record. Like the lift, of course, was the place I wanted to record it. So we just more recorded as we went along. More because of our time limit, I wanted to ensure that we wouldn't have to go back to re-record anything. So I just got lots of footage. But as you said, we ended up just clumping them all together.
We went in thinking it'd be better to get too much footage than too little.
But we ended up trying to clump all of them together.
Yeah. But we had such a limited time to do the video in that we wouldn't have time to redo videos.
Yeah.
We had to try and get as much of it, if not all of it, done in one take. In all the shots we could do. So that's why we stayed there for...
But when it came to the actual rough cut, we started pushing them all in. We thought that all those clips we did were all part of the sequel, all part of our plot line. But they were just random shots we did that looked good.
Yeah.
So you can notice now, compared to like the first couple of cuts, how much cut out. It used to be like 3 minutes last time we did this.
Well, what came out good though,
sorry.
we did use a large percentage of the footage we recorded compared to the year before, where we cut out basically everything at one point. We just redid everything.
You can also maybe tell that we've taken a lot of attention to location this time. Instead of doing it at the bus park down there, the forest where we go every single time.
Because I noticed even in A2, I kept getting comments saying, why do you use this location? This location didn't work. So when considering this for our AS, we really took the location into account.
It needed to look sort of a posh, very nice little place that we're going.
As this took a big step up from last year, Ben's bedroom.
Oh yeah.
Big step
It was in this room. All that was moved to the side, and it was just, you can tell the door there is the same one as before. And we had the camping site literally about a few hundred yards that way near a bus stop.
Yeah. We took...
Everything was done within 500 yards of my house.
We had the camping shop about 5 meters away from the bus stop.
It was, yeah.
And the dialogue wasn't great either.
I was very excited for my first ever camping trip.
Even with the music video itself, I didn't pay much attention to the actual locations of it.
With some of the cheesiest, cringiest acting.
Near the forest, Sean, as pragmatic as ever, was not looking forward to it. Alex, who did it as a hobby however, was raring to go.
Yeah, it was that the acting,
some of the
narration. Although the narration was good, it was not. I think we could have done better. Like this is what we did in this one. Completely negated the fact that we didn't need to do a narration because that was so bad.
And for a camping trip, there was only one guy with a camping bag.
And the dialogue, the acting, the props we used, the locations. In our point of view, everything was bad. So we changed it around. We made sure to use good locations, little dialogue as possible. Make sure everyone's dressed for the part, has the appropriate props, like Sean has a suitcase, a suit, and a torch.
No one looks out of place, basically. No. A lot of people looked out of place last year. Only one person was equipped for the camping trip.
Yeah, like when Alex was wearing the same clothes when he was the person outside.
Originally, our interrogator was just wearing normal clothes. He just came in.
And we switched.
Tracksuit.
We also switched characters. We switched from Andrew to Alex.
And we switched the interrogator 3 times.
And then it went to you finally.
Yeah, 3 times. And that was only because I was the only one with the proper wear for it. Because you can't have someone go in with tracky bottoms on, trainers.
It's safe to say that we've used a lot of things that we didn't use in the last video.
Like turtleneck, and then you're meant to be the big bag, the big bad interrogator that the audience is meant to admire, because it doesn't work.
But a lot of things were happening. We were in an interrogation scene, then we had a camping trip, we talked about that. Like, it looked well, but there was just too much going on in that sequence.
So we decided to simplify it.
Yeah. In this one also, we take advice from peers, but the basic we don't ask them until we have a basic structure.
Yeah.
Because we don't want them like saying, make a narration scene, do this scene again, do like...
This time we went in with a plan. Last year was a lot of improvisation. We went in thinking, we got a rough idea. This time we set out, we knew what we wanted to do, and we did.
I had a basic idea of what we were going to film
and then the extra shots we took were shots based around the original idea. They weren't just, I got this new idea that has nothing to do with what we're doing, but it looks cool in my head, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because that would have wasted our time, and I've not been using the final product. Unlike last year, where we just did a bunch of random shots that we thought looked good at the time, which had nothing to do with our end result.
Ready for this one? Alright, so...
Oh, we started again?
Yeah, press play.
Okay.
This shot especially, it originally did go down right to the floor.
And it was slow. We had to speed it up a bit.
Yeah, we speed it up and cut it off just as soon as it got to the... Because the whole point was meant to show you what is in his hand. and it stopped just as it showed the bare minimum.
Otherwise, it was going to go on for way too
Otherwise
long,
it
and it was going to be
dragged on.
boring, and it wouldn't have looked good at all.
One part that people said that when we did the Richmond video, what they really liked was the fact that I followed you into the elevator. I didn't just like watch you walk in the elevator and watch you come out again. I actually followed you into the elevator.
Yeah.
And then as you walked out.
Yeah.
Which was quite annoying. We went in there about. Well, what we did is that we were on like the second floor. We'd open the elevator. I filmed Sean going in, get in, and then film while he's going up to the north and him getting out.
Yeah.
And then we repeat it back down to the second floor. We did that about 4 times until I had a lot of footage that we could use.
Yeah.
We used different angles, different like close-ups, long shots, mid shots. We used panning shots.
Anything that we thought would work at the time.
Yeah, we wanted for this part of the sequence. It's about match on action.
Yeah.
To make sure that it looks smooth. Like this is just one smooth sequence of him going up to a certain location. I already had a place figured out for where we would end it, so it was just a matter of going to there and finding loads of locations to film. I changed this instead of having the CCTV, which looks a bit odd, and the stair thing. I decided to cut that out because it was a bit too long. Just go straight. Looks like he come around the corner, and then the next scene will be him coming up to the door. So it looks like another match on action.
Yeah.
And it just cuts down the whole sequence even, which is good. That's what we wanted.
And a lot of the shots are very quick, fast-paced,
Yeah.
which is again what we're trying to do, which is what you need for match on action. You don't want to overdo it, have it too fast-paced, but don't have it too slow either. So
Yeah.
we kept a good pace throughout these shots that happened with the elevator, we thought.
I cut down a bit of the bit where we moved up to it, just because
Again,
people
there,
found that
yeah.
quite funny.
We
So
had
I
it
cut
way
it
too
down.
long there.
Yeah.
Like, we had me walking up to the door and standing there. Even though it was less than a second, it still felt too long.
I was really struggling to get out because I had to have my mum hold the chair while I was standing up like that.
Yeah.
And that's actually a different shot. That's a shot of a different door opening. We just
Yeah.
thought it looked good with it.
Yeah, we thought this is a different door, but it looks so similar to the original
Yeah.
that
That's
it didn't
the thing.
really matter, and yeah, no one noticed.
And another thing, this what you've seen so far in terms of clips is the opposite way we record it. We record this first. We recorded, well, the first thing we recorded was the car coming in. Then we recorded inside, and we recorded you getting out of the car outside.
Yeah.
So we use different places. Like there are different, like one that's a different door. We record them in not in chronological order. It's just we did it, and then that's the marvel
Yeah.
of post production.
We didn't do it in an order, but we had an idea of the shots we wanted.
Yeah.
So it's like we didn't go in thinking we're going to do it in
We-
chronological
yeah, I-
order. We're going to do it from start to finish.
The main reason
we
was,
did it based on the locations we were at.
Yeah. The
So-
main reason was why I added that in the end
Yeah.
is because the sequence of you just opening the door, walking it, and closing was too long.
Yeah.
I needed something to go in there to cut the scene down,
Mhm.
and that just happened to be there.
Yeah.
See, do
You
too
see
much
us
instead
do-
of too few.
We're using another low-angled shot here, making me
Also-
seem superior.
If you listen to it, you heard the music go. It starts to get pitch up, and then it's reaching a climax, and then play.
Door shuts, camera goes dark again, signifying a
Yeah.
change in scene.
Yeah. And then how do we know we and
the
how
audio-
do we enter this scene?
Same way we entered the last one.
With
Uh,
that.
goes black, and the audio stops. The soundtrack stops.
Although with the one with the into the opening sequence with the last subtitles opening sequence, we did by the sound of boom.
Yeah.
That's how we get into it. But this one is different. This one's with the we used visual effects this time with the light.
I thought this could be mentioned earlier, but when I was stepping with the camera, that's like a view of me viewing upwards, so it could make my character seem very superior, very powerful.
Yeah.
Because you're only seeing it from
That's
a
good.
low
Yeah,
angle,
that's a good idea.
making me seem like a more powerful character than the others you may see in.
Aye.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Instead of sound, it's more of the light this time on how we transition from that to that.
We didn't actually have the sound of the light turning on. It was added in
Yeah.
post-production.
This-
But we felt it was a good way
This
to...
we are proud of. This was done in the room. We just used loads of boards set up against the chair.
We did this in the school room at school.
Yeah,
But
we-
we set it up using, like you said, the...
These are lasted like boards about this tall.
yeah, the boards are set
Trapping me in.
loud and high enough so that Ben would look like he's in a whole different room altogether.
Yeah, the light with the light shining. We had a light here as well, where you're sitting. The light here shining onto me. This looks very constricting. So people,
Yeah.
the audience immediately feels constricted. I look
Yeah.
really weak here because I'm sweating. I look really.
He looks
defenseless,
nervous.
Nervous.
He
I'm
doesn't
trapped.
really know how to act. His posture's bad too. Makes him not. He's not sitting upright. Again, making him look like a weaker
We
character.
had an idea what we used, but lots
His
of
eyes
them
aren't
didn't.
focused.
Like
His eyes are moving about. He doesn't know where to look. He doesn't know how to act.
Like
Just makes them look
this
like a
scene is
character.
proves us how much we improvise. We had an idea. Like we went to the Fort Paul to do record. Like I said, let's record in lift. We didn't know what we would record or
Yeah,
what.
but we knew it would be
thought
useful
could long.
for when we were making the
Yeah,
video.
like-
we knew that we needed the lift.
This scene.
We just didn't know how.
Yeah, like this scene is perfect itself because like we had a shot of my hands and everything, but like wait for it. You see like the water on my face.
Yeah.
That Sean had a water bottle
Yeah.
on my head.
We
Just
used-
give me that hand and I'll
Yeah.
put it over my face.
To make him look like he's sweating, he does like
We got loads of shots of my head, of my cheek, on my face as the water drips down it.
yeah. We didn't. So Ben's nervous, basically. That's what we're trying to say. Ben's nervous.
And we changed the edit around because the edit at one point made me look like I had makeup on.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we had to change it because we upped the saturation on the clips to make them seem a bit brighter
Yeah.
because we wanted to bring out certain features from Ben, like his eye color. Otherwise, it would just be all like.
And the water on my face,
Because
the
of the dark
moisture
light.
on my face.
Yeah. So we had to up the saturate, make his eyes look greener, more focused on because it was important for the shot we were doing.
Just made me look paler.
But then, when we switched the shots, we noticed that this upping his saturation made him look like he was wearing makeup, basically.
Oh, it was so bad. I had like it looked like I had full lipstick on. I looked like I had foundation rubbed in. I had blush on my cheeks.
Yeah.
I looked like I had eyeliner. I'm not joking.
Yeah, it just didn't work. It just we had to figure out a different way. I think we ended up upping the brightness instead to help create the same visual look. Because the last thing you want is a complete change in look when you're not meaning to.
Yeah.
You can look really out of place.
Although to be honest, none of the
Yeah.
people I asked in the reaction video noticed that.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I may have the enhancement or why it was there. They just noticed how cool it looked. Well, to be honest, they were never meant to
Yeah.
notice that specific features. They just how it looked is what I think of
You
it.
also noticed the blur around the picture. This helps focus on his eyes,
Yeah.
which is what we're trying to do again.
Sean edited in all the blurs. I didn't think about it until he started editing, and it works really well, especially
Yeah.
later on. That is so again we have this. Like this shot was longer. It used to go across my entire hand, but we
Yeah.
stopped halfway because
But
again, short.
all we wanted was the audience to know his mannerisms at the time. So his hands were shaking. That's all we wanted you to know. We didn't need a very long shot on it because at a glance you know what he's doing. You know he's nervous. You know he's stumbling over himself basically. And that's what we tried to do.
Yeah.
It was very long at the beginning, but
Also, the reason why we
it
only
would slow down
like,
the pace of
you
the
notice how
video.
we only filmed for like one angle of me.
Yeah.
That's meant to emphasise the constrictness of it.
Yeah.
Because if we did it from different angles, it gives the idea that there's
Yeah.
loads of areas we can record from.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be really constricting. Only can be viewed from one angle.
Yeah, that's again helping make Ben look like he has no power.
Exactly.
He's in a very small environment that he is very no control over, and it's showing through the way he's acting.
And then of course we had the edit of the door opening, and it did feature Sean sitting down, but I got rid of that because it just didn't work too well.
Yeah.
I decided just to go straight into him opening the back.
Yeah.
We hear the door open, and as soon as Sean, people always
Because
did know,
again-
oh, he came through the door.
I noticed when looking at other people's opening sequences, the best ones were generally the shortest
Yeah.
because they kept up the fast pace that they were trying to do, showing, including all the information they were trying to put in. So what we were attempting when doing this is cutting out a lot of the long shots that we needed, a lot of the shots that weren't necessary. They could have been included, but it may have took away from the overall experience of the opening sequence.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to cut out Ben sitting down, well,
You
me
sitting
sitting
down, sorry.
down, and just get straight to it.
Yeah. I know the reason why, because since he's going straight into opening the bag, it shows his power again.
Yeah.
We don't want, he's not going to waste time by sitting down. He's,
He's
going
not
to open straight up,
wasting-
and he's going to
yeah.
show you
Like, it
what
shows
he's
my
here for.
character doesn't wasting any time in getting
Yeah,
into it.
like beforehand,
No words are
like-
being said.
like
He's just sitting down
Last
and doing
year,
it.
when your character tapped the pen on the desk, that gives the idea that you're not very professional, that you're
Yeah.
bored. But this time, you're all straight professional.
Yeah.
You have the power, and your character knows it.
Yeah.
So if you press play, there's actually a change in bags as well, but people won't notice because there's not really much shot of it. And this blur effect, and then people will recognise that kid from the other sequence.
And when I first put out the paper, the blur effect is suddenly undone.
Yeah.
Because, well, it just helps you focus on the person's face.
Mm.
When an image is very blurry, we notice this in movies a lot too. The part that's generally unblurred is the part you focus on the most.
Yeah.
So when we were trying to unblur the image, I tried to make it so that it was only the person who was meant to be missing's face that was undone. And this helped make it seem that, well, it made the audience focus more on him. Remember his face for later in the movie.
That makes sense. Do you have the sweat shot?
Yeah. Again, this is when we put water on Ben's face. And as we did it, we had to record it dripping down almost immediately.
Because I
So we could have
and that.
the dripping water effect which again
'Cause
made Ben appear nervous.
In the light, it dried up really quickly, and then we
Yeah.
also had their hands shot.
yeah,
my
and we have
eyes.
Ben looking down at it,
Yeah.
acknowledging that he's seen it.
We have my identity because we see my eyes,
Yeah,
and although that it's mostly my eyes because, again,
that
people will be able to
Yeah.
see in my eyes that
we actually notice in a lot of horror movies, a lot of the fear is shown in someone's eyes.
yes,
Like when you are viewing somebody, the way that if they're scared, their eyes will widen. If they're contempt, their eyes are not. And if they're scheming, their eyes are generally squinted to a sense.
Mm.
And so by looking at the way Ben's eyes are moving, an audience could get a feel for the way that they're acting. Ben's eyes were quite wide opened at times, moving all over the place, not focused, giving him off certain
and you definitely
emotions
see a
that
very
would be having.
submissive look in
Yeah,
my eyes.
very submissive.
I'm
to
not
him.
exactly going to be talking out very much.
He doesn't look like he's going to be changing it round and gaining the power himself due to his stature in the opening sequence.
And then we press play. Then we have the actual.
I'm here to ask you a few questions. If you answer truthfully, I can help
Now
you.
this is the third different text. The original text we used was Sean's original voice, which we didn't look too well.
Yeah.
Then I added something that was a bit too
It
deep.
didn't sound
Sean's
menacing,
sounded
not
yeah.
menacing.
Your first
but,
voice didn't sound too
powerful
menacing
enough at the time.
I know the second voice sounded too
Yeah.
unrealistic, but this one's a perfect blend of it.
It also helps disguise my character again, make him because if someone was to watch this and go to watch the movie, we wouldn't want them to know who the interrogator is yet.
Hmm.
So just going off their voice, you wouldn't be able to know
Yeah.
because the effect's been added, and that is something you'd have to find out later on. Again, keeping the enigma effect on, as we don't know who this person is fully. All we know that he is most likely working for the police about a missing case. That's all we
Yeah.
know.
And we not only just by the missing poster, but by the fact that since people might think he is the antagonist because of the Enigma code, but the fact he says, "If you do this, I can help you," shows that although he is intimidating, he's not the bad guy.
Yes, he's not the bad guy.
But he does
like you
have
said.
power.
Yeah, he does have power to influence the situation that Ben is in.
I look like I have lipstick. But that wasn't fine. You know, most people didn't notice that because they're quick. People don't have enough time to actually
we made the
analyse
shots
it.
quick, so even if there was a mistake in the shot, it was too quick to notice.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, see, he's asking the questions and I don't speak.
Yeah.
I just nod or shake my head
We
or
notice
look.
I'm asking the questions. Ben isn't questioning anything. I have the power. He is not responding to anything I say, just with nods, shakes, and eyes. That's
And
all
again,
he's doing.
with-
He's not even using his hands really.
With this next scene, this shows again, instead of wasting the time, like with you sitting down or you
Yeah.
grabbing something out of the bag, it's just straight on the desk
Yeah,
to again show that you don't mess around. That you have power.
yeah.
Right, so continue.
And we notice that every time you look up, you're looking up.
You're going to tell me everything that happened
You're
that day
gonna tell me.
from the...
Yeah.
You're-
Again, demanding tone. I'm wanting to extract all the information I can out
And
of
just
this
look at my
person.
face at that point there. I am not giving eye contact to him at that point.
Yeah. At this point, he's lost, basically. He's gonna tell me everything.
start.
24 hours earlier.
Again, ending this the way we have ended
On a
it
cliffhanger.
several times in the video. We've made it pitch black, loud noise,
And then boom.
but this time we
It's
didn't
it.
carry on.
No. Again, it just creates so much confusion to make people want to look on and see,
Yeah.
what is this? This video is so confusing.
We gave away, I think, just enough so they'd know the story, or the storyline,
Yeah.
the basic concepts of it, but not enough to know what would happen.
Yeah.
They don't know who the bad guy is. They don't know who this interrogator person is. They don't even really know who Ben is.
No.
But he could. He
No,
may,
no, these identities are all confused.
He may not even be the protagonist.
Look at the reaction video I did as well. The more recent one.
Yeah.
Sorry, that one. Yeah. I asked them a few questions on it. Let's skip forward because the first bit I asked them, I had them view the video. I asked them all three. It was hard to get them edited in. Here we go. What was your first reaction to that video?
I thought it was very good.
Hi, I really love the title sequence and like how it's black and white, and I was really enjoying the sort of like the use of the really extreme white and
Yeah.
like loads of black because that
Yeah,
sort of like
again,
good
it's
and
the
even.
same. Black and white is really effective on that, but since
Yeah.
unlike, we used it a lot more during our old one, But this one we just had it to the point of when during the title sequence and then a bit of the open sequence, then back to colour.
Yeah. The less you use something, the more impactful it is.
It was opposite during the scene, the interrogation scene, because the colours enhanced.
Yeah.
It goes like that. It shows such a difference. Like it just shows an
Yeah.
explosion of colours and everything. Gives a narration, gives us characterisation, who has power, more or less what social class they're in, and it just gives an idea what's happening. It makes people want to watch on. That's
Yeah.
what I really love about this, because it's much better.
Yeah.
Because it's like a star now, instead of just a B grade.
Yeah.
Because last year's, I would not say, was tragic. We might do an individual video reacting to that now that we've done this.
Yeah. Maybe.
We might do that.
We'll see.
Right. Alright, now that's a summary of our opening and title sequence.